All right, so two topics today. One about the NFL, the other about the NBA. And the first topic I want to talk about is about Aaron Rodgers and what his future is going to look like as far as playing football goes for this upcoming season. And to me, there's only two viable options that exist. He either A, goes, you know what, I'm done. I'm hanging it up, I'm retiring because I've made more than enough money and I've played way more than enough football to make me happy. And I want to move on to bigger and better things, such as becoming the host of Jeopardy. Or B, he says, Green Bay, let's run it back just one more time. Because I want to make $50 million more. And who wouldn't want to make $50 million more? But that's the problem that Green Bay's in. They've got this hefty contract with Rodgers. And believe me, they've been trying to move off of him for years. Why do you think they drafted Jordan Love? And why do you think they've kept Rodgers? It's because Jordan Love stinks. That's why. But they've been trying to move off Rodgers. There's no doubt about that. And since 2020, Rodgers has been on a fall off. He is completely digressed as a player. If you look at his stats, QBR has gone down, INTs have been up, touchdowns are less and less. He hasn't won a Super Bowl since 2011, and they lost against the 49ers in the playoffs in 2022, Tampa in 2021, and the 49ers again in 2020. And as we all know, this last season, they lost to the Detroit Lions in a win and in game to make the playoffs as well. So Green Bay is ready to move off of him. It's a matter of what Aaron wants to do. And you could say, well, what if they want to trade him, right? To Las Vegas to go play with his great buddy Davante Adams. Las Vegas is a dumpster fire outside of Davante Adams. New York Jets, that would be the team for him, right? No, they have a defensive head coach, and Aaron is an offensive guy. We all know that. And their wide receiving core, although they're talented, have proven nothing yet so far. So I think Aaron has two options. I think he either retires or he comes back to Green Bay for one or two more seasons and then calls it quits. And now I want to move to my second topic, and it's about LeBron, because last week I made a video talking about who's the greatest player of all time in the NBA, which is obviously LeBron, and there's no doubt about it. But people had an issue with it, and I expected it. And there's always been this argument that LeBron could not play in the 80s and 90s. He's too much of a whiner, and he's too soft. Well, let's look at LeBron's body, right? Just his body, physically. He's 6'9", he's 250. And he is one of, if not the greatest, scoring players as far as driving down the lane we've ever seen. Watch his film. I mean, it's clearly evident. I don't know why there's even a discussion there. The guy is a bowling ball when it comes to playing basketball. And he wouldn't even be able to just play in the 80s and 90s, but he would dominate. He would be averaging a triple-double. People act like LeBron doesn't play against tough teams. Do people know that he played against the greatest team ever assembled in the Golden State Warriors? Steph Curry, Draymond Green, KD, Klay Thompson, all Hall of Famers, and came back from a 3-1 deficit and won in the NBA Finals against them. And then in the other finals, he plays against the Dallas Mavericks with Dirk Nowitzki and Jason Kidd, and the San Antonio Spurs with Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, Tim Duncan. I mean, these guys are tremendous players. LeBron James would mop the floor with the teams such as the Boston Celtics, the Detroit Pistons, Atlanta Hawks, the Magic Joe Johnson Lakers. He would mop the floor with them. LeBron is incredible to watch, and he's the greatest player of all time. And absolutely, he would be able to compete in that era. And you may say, well, he's a whiner and he always complains about calls. Well, let's look at this here. Jordan averages 8.2 free throws per game in his time playing, and LeBron averages 7.8. And you know why that is? Because Jordan was the golden boy of the NBA back in the 80s and 90s. Everyone wanted him to be the face of the NBA. There was talks of him becoming the logo. And Jordan shot more free throws per game. Watch Jordan's film. He got a lot of fortunate calls on him. And he cried quite a bit as well. So that completely is thrown out of the window. Forget about that. LeBron would dominate the 80s and 90s, and there's no discussion about it.